All right. Your all expenses paid trip turns out to be a one-way 5-minute ride in an airship. At least it's a cool airship. It drops you off at the edge of a vast desert and descends back to Island Island. Did you bring the parts? You turn around to see an elf completely covered in white clothing, wearing goggles and riding a large camel. Did you bring the parts? She asks again, louder this time. You aren't sure what parts she's looking for. You're here to figure out why the sand stopped. The parts for the sand. Yes, come with me. I will show you. She beckons you onto the camel. After riding a bit across the sand of Desert Island, you can see what looks like very large rocks covering half of the horizon. The elf explains that the rocks are all along the part of Desert Island that is directly above Island Island, making it hard to even get there. Normally, they use big machines to move the rocks and filter the sand, but the machines have broken down because Desert Island recently stopped receiving the parts they need to fix the machines. You've already assumed it'll be your job to figure out why the part stopped. When she asks if you can help, you agree automatically. Because the journey will take a few days, she offers to teach you the game of camel cards. Camel cards is sort of similar to poker, except it's designed to be easier to play with while riding a camel. Good. In camel cards, you get a list of hands, and your goal is to order them based on strength of each hand. A hand consists of 5 cards labeled 1 of A, K, Q, J, T, 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way down to 2. The relative strength of each card follows this in order, where A is the highest and 2 is the lowest. Every hand is exactly one type, from strongest to weakest. They are 5 of a hand, 4 of a kind, full house. So your normal poker hand stuff. Hands are primarily ordered based on type. For example, every full house is stronger than any 3 of a kind. In 2 hands that have the same type, a second ordering rule takes effect. Start by comparing the first card in each hand. If these cards are different, the hand with the stronger first card is considered stronger. If the first card in each hand has the same label, move on to considering the second card to do some sort of lexicographic ordering. So 3332 and 2 AAAA are both 4 of a kinds, but 3332 is stronger because its first card is stronger. 3 is stronger than A? No. Oh, that's the first card. First card is a 2. I see. Similarly, 77888 and 77788 are both a full house, but 77888 is stronger because the third card is stronger, and both hands have the same first and second card. To play camel cards, you're given a list of hands and their corresponding bid. For example, blah. This example shows 5 hands. Each hand is followed by its bid amount. Each hand wins an amount equal to its bid multiplied by its rank, where the weakest hand gets rank 1, the second gets rank 2, and so on up to the strongest hand. Because there are 5 hands in this example, the strongest hand will have rank 5, and the bid will be multiplied by 5. So the first step is to put the hands in order. Strength. Now you can determine. Okay, so just a whole bunch of ordering is what we're looking at. We just have to determine the different poker hands. Okay. This doesn't seem bad. I think it's gonna take a little while in terms of like getting all the pieces together. But I'm not intimidated by part 1. Let's take a peek at this. I'm guessing it's just a ton of hands. Yeah, that makes sense. So basically what we need to do is we need to come up with a function that will first determine the hand type, and then we need to come up with a sorting function, or a comparison function, I should say. Oh, I don't know how to sort based off custom function. I'll have to Google that. I know it's not too bad in Python to define your comparison operator for sorting. I've seen it once this semester, but it's been like 3 months since I've looked at that. So yeah, once we have a function that tells us what type of hand we have, and then a comparison operating function that can compare two hands and tell us which is greater than or what, then it matters just sorting and labeling it. So let's get started. Again, I don't want to try and speed through this. I know that that's kind of the name of the game for a lot of people, but I'm gonna be nice and careful. All right, so determine hand type. Hand. So this function's job is to determine which of these kinds of hands we're dealing with. So we have 5 of a kind, 4 of a kind, full house, 3 of a kind, 2 pair, 1 pair, and high card. So I just want this in front of me. Okay. So 5 of a kind, we could figure out the hands are just strings. The 5 of a kind, what we could do. So first, let's take our hand and do hand equals hand dot split. So if I understand correctly, oops, nope, split on an empty. Nope. How do we split? Okay. Hand equals x in hand equals x or x in hand. No, go away. I don't need dictation. Determine hand type. This should work. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things I can see here is I can take this list and I can turn it into a set. And if the set has 1 element in it, then I have a 5 of a kind. If it has 2 elements in it, then I have a 4 of a kind, but I have to figure out which one is the 4 and which one is the 1. Full house and 3 of a kind are going to be a little bit trickier, so maybe that's not the best way to go about it. I could get like a frequency count. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just construct some sort of like frequency thing. So frequency equals a dictionary. This is overkill, but this is how my mind is thinking about it. So for card in hand, if card in frequency dot keys, then frequency at card plus equal 1. So if it's already in there, then we already have at least one of those types of cards. So increment else frequency at card equals 1. So this is the first time we're seeing that sort of thing. Let's print frequency, and let's go ahead and start parsing our input as well. Def parse text. So we could do that's going to be a list of these things. Great. Just gonna yell at me. Yes. So for item in text, we have hand bid combinations. Let's see. Hand bid equals a list. We could do and equals item dot split on the space at 0 and bid equals same thing but at 1. And we could do and bid dot append and bid, so just 2 value pairs. So and then return and bid. Okay. Cool. So let's do determine hand type on hand bids 0, 0. Okay, so we have a 3, a 2, a T, a 3, and a K. What is the T? I don't know what T is. So here we have 2 3s in this hand. So the frequency of the 3 is 2, and then the rest are 1. So that's pretty good. Now, let's see. Here. So if frequency dot keys so we want we don't care about ranking of, like, in normal poker, if you have a 2 4 of a kinds, you know, whichever one has the higher number, period. But we don't care about that. We only care about the order of the cards. So here, this one is stronger, so we don't have to worry about that. So if the length of this is equal to 5 or 1, if it's 1, then return 5 kind. I don't know how to organize these, so we're just gonna do strings. So if there's only 1 key, then it's a 5 of a kind. If there's 2 keys, then it's a 4 of a kind. And then no, that's not right. That is wrong. That is totally wrong. Because full house has 2 keys. So if let's see. Is this a list? Kind of. Can I index into that? No. They're not ordered, I would assume. Can I turn it into a list? can. Cool. What was I doing? Okay. So if how about this? Nums equals how do I just get the values? Is this a thing? So if nums at 0 equal 1, then return 4 kind. Else return, because there's so if you have two keys, and you can have 1 and 4 and 2 and 3, and that's it. Okay, so that's working. If there are, let's see, and probably this isn't actually necessary, but like the logic is overcomplicated, but that's okay. If there are 3 keys, then we can't have a full house or 4 of a kind. We can have a 3 of a kind, pair, 1 pair, and so on. So just look at all the so this is a list question mark. Yes. So how about this? If nums, so let's see. So since we're in the 3 key category, if it's a 3 of a kind, it has to be 1 1 1 1 3. If it's 2 pair, then it's 1 2 2, and then if it's 1 pair, it's going to be 1. Can it be 1? It can't be 1 pair. The keys, can it? I don't think it can, because 1 pair would be 1 1 1 2. That has to be 4 keys. So we could do if nums at 1 equals 1, then return 3 kind, else return 2 pair. And then if it's 1 pair, if there are 4 keys and it's 1 pair. pair. Two else lifts. What's it called? High card. Okay, so logic overkill, but it does the job, I think. So let's just go ahead and do for item. That is not where my home keys are. For item and hand bids, I think is what I called it. Print, determine hand type on item, I think at 0. Put the 0 in the right place. So we have one pair, 3 of a kind, 2 pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind. Cool. That seems to be working so far. So now we need to build a comparison function. So how do we want to do this? We can, so these are all the possible hands. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That seems good. So let's make a list of the different strings. So we'll do, I'm gonna do it in increasing order. So high card, 1 pair, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, full house, fuller house, and 5 kind. Just the previous and strength, just the R for strength. So hand 1 type equals determine hand type hand 1, and 2 type equals determine hand type hand 2. Full signs. Thank you. There we go. So the custom comparison operator returns like plus, minus, and 0. Just don't remember what it is. Okay. Not what I want. Okay, so if item 1 is less than, then return a negative. Okay, so okay. That sounds right. I just don't remember. So if I think it's hand one. I think it's type index and pass it in there. I think. Comparison H1 H2 equals and bid 0 0 and bids 1 0. Must be string, not list. Must be string. Maybe I got that backwards. Yeah, okay. That looks right. And if this is less than that, return -1. If other way, return +1. Else we need to do lexicographic comparison. Card order. Come on, hands. Or I in range then really I could just do 5, but return. There's a smarter way to do this. You just look at the sign of the difference. But I can't think through that right now. If hand one at I less than hand, well, I need to, let's see, it's the list dot index return -1. Elif return +1, and then I guess return 0 if they're equal. Crap. What am I doing wrong? Oh, there's no ones in the game. Duh. Okay. I think that's it. How do I use this sort thing? X or X at 0 or X in bid. Let's get rid of payment. Okay. Sorted. Sorted, and then key equals, I think, just comparison without the thing. No. How do I do this thing? I don't remember the syntax. List dot sort, sorted. It takes a single argument. Wait, how do you do it to take a single argument? Let's do sort Python with custom paired. Okay. Hands dot sort equals compares with or without the stuff. List.sort key equals compare. Why isn't this working? It wants missing one required position argument hand 2. That's not. Is it right? Doesn't seem right. This one's 2 argument. Yeah. I don't understand. You're comparing 2 objects together. Using Python 3. There we go. Okay, I don't know what the issue with my Python syntax stuff was. Okay, so is this sorting correctly? So this is a pair. This is a 2 pair. This is also 2 pair. But this K is bigger than this T, I'm assuming. I don't know where T goes. I don't know what T is. Okay, T is less than Jack. Got it. Oh, 10. Duh. Like, what is T? Oh, it's just the number 10. Wait, hey, baby. Okay. So what do we have? What are we doing now? We've got all the tools. How do I use them? So we have ranks and bids. So I need to sort my tuple, which I'm not sure how to do that with Python because I want to sort on so I have this stuff stored as tuples, and I just want to sort on this. Don't know how to do that in Python. To sort list on particular part list. That's not what I want. No, that's not what I want either. How do I do this? I'm right there. I just don't know how to tell Python to sort on a particular part. Hmm. I knew this syntax. I guess I could just do this. Yeah, I could do this. I know there's a way to specify, hey, sort on the first element of the tuples. But we could do it like this. But that's not right. I don't think it is. No, it's right. It's right. No, it's not right. These are in reverse order. Crap. There we go. That's right. This is the bigger one. Let's see. That's a pair. That's a 2 pair. This is a 2 pair. Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's correct. Okay. Oh, I needed that. So for item in X, print the first one rank 1. Let's see. So rank 1. Okay, yeah. For item in enumerate, I think is the so print I plus 1 and item at 1765 2220 328 Okay, cool. So answer equals 0. Answer plus equals I times item at print answer. I just made an int and int. Whatever. That's not correct. Why isn't that correct? Item plus 1. 6440. Cool. Okay. Yes. All right, part 2. Oh no, there's jokers. Oh no. To make things a little bit more interesting, the elf introduces one additional rule. Now, J cards are jokers, wild cards that can act like whatever card you would want to make the hand strong as possible. To balance this, J cards are now the weakest, weaker even than the 2, but J's can pretend to be whatever card they want. It's best for the purpose of determining the hand type. Oh no. Time is it 1/4 to 1. Yeah, I understand. Hmm. I don't love the idea of just enumerating over the different, what is it? Be like 2 to the 5th different ways of putting a Joker in. But that might not be the worst. Hmm. I don't like it, but that's the best thing that's coming to me right now. Because it's an on-off switch. So there's 2 options for each slot. There's 5 slots, so there'd be 2 to the 5th, which is 32. So then we would scale the problem by 32, right? But how do we do the comparisons that way? We would just replace each hand with the best hand it can be. So that's subjective relative to the hand that you're comparing it to. Thing. If I can make a 4 of a kind in 2 different ways. No, maybe. Okay. No, that's not good. The question is what if I put a Joker somewhere, what role is it? Oh, let's see. Let me read this one more time. This is still only 1 pair. It doesn't contain any jokers, so its strength doesn't increase. Oh, I was thinking of this entirely wrong. We're taking the jacks and we're making them jokers. We're not looking at all the ways that we can okay. I see. I'm just being dumb. So the jacks are becoming jokers. So we would have to take a hand that has jokers in them and figure out how do we strengthen the hand? How do we decide what it should become? It'll always just should it always just become the card with the highest frequency? If it becomes a card with the highest frequency, then 4 of a kind become 5 of the kind. Full houses become 4 of a kind. Three of a kind. I'm not sure. Why is this 2 pair? Why can't this be... Wait, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay. Now only 1 pair. Is now the only 2 pair. Okay, sure. These are now all 4 of a kind because that those become the higher frequency, this becomes the higher frequency. So I think it's always that. So if I pass in a hand, I want to build my frequency thing. Where's that at? So if there are, so there can be 5, 4, 3. There can't be 2 3s. There can be 2 2s. If there are 2 2s, then and one of them becomes a. Well, if they're 2 2s. And 2 of them are jokers, it becomes a 4 of a kind. If there are 2 2s and 1 joker, it becomes a full house. It doesn't matter which one I turn it into, I don't think. If J in hand. It's a capital, right? Yeah. Because if there's no J's in the hand, then it doesn't change. Just give it the okay, 'cause I don't want to look at the frequency of J's at this point. Now I need to just look at, I think, the largest frequency. So get key object with largest value. max frequency get that's high card. So for wild hand equals empty string. For the and if if the equals Joker, then no. Yes. Card equals the high card, else no else wild hand plus equals card. I think that's right. This is only being defined here. Not even this. I'm not using. Okay. I think I do. How do I? This is defined here. I turned my hand into a list. All right, this is a logical mess. I don't know if this is right. Or hand and hands print wild card and you know that looks strikingly like what I want. 3-2 T3K T and all fives. Yeah, here, let's just take this and this becomes all T's. I don't think it matters. And then, yeah, and that becomes all queen. Okay. So I think for our comparison function now, let's make a new one. with wilds. Then we determine the hand type is now going to be wild card of that. And wild card of this. But we don't actually compare the wild card hands index by index wise. We use the originals. And then J's become the weakest. This gets bumped down here. I think that's it. I think. Emphasis on the I think. Put there for a second. So 32T3K, AK677, that one gets that one gets that. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a bug. Because I'm not 100% sure that my rule for how jokers are used is correct. What world? Why is this mad? Is an empty sequence. What? What do you mean it's... I don't understand. Because there's 5 J's? Yeah. What are 5 J's? It's a 5 of a kind. Stupid edge cases. About to hardcode the ever-living hell out of this. That was stupid of me. Oh, that was so dumb of me. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Where do we want to go with this? I decided to do regex for figuring out which hand I'm looking at, and that's not going well. All right, well, we came up top for this one. That's a great feeling. That doesn't happen very often. So let's see. Let's talk about our solution. So parsing, there's always parsing. Then determine hand type. So this is kind of a mess, but it works. So basically, I looked at all the different ways that you can create the different poker hands: 5 of a kind, 4 of a kind, full house, etc., etc. And you can look at it based off of the frequency of cards. So if there's only one card type, then you know it's 5 of a kind. So you have a frequency dictionary. If there's only one key in it, that means there's only one card. That means you have to have 5 of a kind. 2 cards, you can have a 4 of a kind or a full house. So you just look at the different, you know, different frequencies on whether or not it's 1, 4, or 2, 3, or 3, 2, or whatever. I sorted, so 1, 4, or 2, 3. If there are 3 keys, then you could be looking at a 3 of a kind, a 1, 1, 3, or you could be looking at a 2 pair, a 1, 2, 2. And so those differ at the middle value. If there's 4 keys, then it's a single pair, and if there's 5 keys, then you have 5 different cards. Just a high card. So then we built a comparison function that is a little janky, because I know that I could have clumped things together and tidied this up a little bit. But basically, we looked at the hand strength and the card strength in increasing order. I accidentally put this in decreasing order because that's the format on the website, and so I just reversed it to get increasing order. Determine the hand type of both of your hands that you're comparing, and then figure out their value. And then basically, so this is building a comparator, I believe is what it's called, in Python. And that's basically just, how do you say? If the first element is less than the second element in your comparison, then you return a -1. If the first is strictly greater, then you return +1. And then if these are equal, meaning that they have the same hand strength, then the rule says that we need to look character by character in order. So not quite like poker, but just looking at character by character. And then do by comparison, so lexicographic character by characters comparisons. And then afterwards, if all of that is equal, then you're looking at the same hand. So just return 0. So this is really nice because this allows me to, after some trouble with remembering how to Python, now that I have this custom built comparison function, I can just sort my hands using that. So I can just use the sorted Python function and tell it to sort based on my comparator function, which is really handy. Then for part 2, it said, okay, well, instead of jacks being J, they're jokers. So those are your wild cards. They can take the role of a, the card that gives you the most benefit. So what I did for that is I made a function that basically determined what would the best hand look like with jokers involved. There, in my input, I had 5 jokers, so I had to hard code that away. So if you have all 5 jokers, just spit that back out. Then do the frequency thing, so get the frequency of your cards. And then if the words, so if you have jokers in your hand, meaning that, you know, the hand can become stronger, then I ended up never using joker frequency. Remove the jokers from the dictionary frequencies because we don't want to change those. I mean, they're already jokers. I could have probably left it in there, but whatever. So my understanding is that whatever card has the highest frequency is the one I want to turn jokers into. I'm like 90% sure that's the best way of improving a hand is to just say, okay, take the cards that you have the most of and add more to it. And so that's what I did. I took whatever it was that had the most, and I said, turn all the jokers into that thing. And so then what I did is I used my comparison function, but slightly modified, where when determining the hand type, I determined not the original hand, but the hand after improving it using wild cards. And then if I had two wild card hand types that were the same, I do the character by comparison, like before, but now the instructions say that jokers become the weakest. And when you are doing the comparison by comparison, you treat J as the weakest thing. You don't treat it like the card that it is pretending to be. So that I think made things a little bit easier in that way. And then that was it. You sort everything out, and then the scoring of it was basically the weakest hand had rank 1, the strongest hand had rank N, and then there were bids, and the amounts of score that you gained per hand was the rank times the bid amount. So they came in these hand bid pairs. And that was it. So that's day 7 of Advent to Code 2023. This particular day wasn't challenging in any way. I just had I had a lot that I needed to do to put myself in the position that I wanted to be in. And so it was very much just churn through, the work. I had some hiccups with remembering how to do things with the custom comparator and things like that. But I had a very clear plan, and I executed it, and it worked. So I was really happy with how today turned out. So thanks again for hanging out for Advent to Code Day 7 2023, and I will see you all tomorrow.